carnivore really must be healthy when you can sit here and talk for 6 hours and not getting exhausted. Now I can go for 12, 13, bloody whatever. I can't believe the energy that I have. If I go back when I was, look, you have to remember, I've been doing this for some time now, about 10 years since my cardiovascular issue when I had my chest ripped open. So I've been doing it for some time and biohacking all the way through, not only doing low carb and all that, I've also been doing biohacks. So that's why I sort of look a bit younger and all that. So I've been doing a lot of biohacks and other things like that. So uh, I pushed the envelope on a number of fronts. But I'm also careful I don't overdo it and all that, because I do know that there can be some risks with some of that sort of stuff. So I always taper back how far I go with some of these things. But yeah, I'm always looking for some ways of manipulating certain biological pathways. Yes, I have to say that. But yeah, the carnivore diet in general, I find furnishes me with far more energy in that regard and stamina and stuff like that compared to anything else in the past. So yeah, it does make a difference. And I'm the same at work. I'm just plowing away like mad. Um, you know, so I can't say I don't think that you'd get a vegan, for 6 hours or 6.5 hours now, sitting here talking off the cuff and coming up with answers off the cuff and all that, and having a sharp mind after having the whole day doing a morning session, a whole lot of other things, and actually going 3:30 to bed, getting 6.5 hours sleep, waking up, doing another first live stream, going out, doing a bit of exercise, coming back, going off, doing some shopping, coming back, and then, preparing, having a meal and all that sort of stuff, and then starting on a live stream and now being on there for 6.5 hours. I don't think there are many that have got that sort of endurance. So I've come a long way in fixing a lot of my mitochondrial health issues. This is why, with Hello Kitty, I actually said to her earlier, just tell them, because, I don't like showing her phone, what messages she sends me, but I used to was sending her all these, where my blood sugar levels were and all that, just bragging. Was annoying her. She said, stop doing it. Stop sending them. I know you're pretty good. I said, this is what you can achieve if you basically stop all those other carbs. And eventually she did stop them all. And she's happy that she's where she is at the moment and getting better. So, but that was just me being annoying, because she's a friend, just to point out, you got to stop doing this and you will stop those derangements and those differences. But yeah, it does make a difference in that regard. In the past, God, I used to, like, at work, I would be sort of yawning. This would be, we're talking about 6 o'clock. I'd be yawning. I'd be basically, um, you know, like really slow working and all that. And in one case, I nearly fell asleep at work. So yeah, so not a good look. So a very different person than what I was. You can ask my work colleagues; they would say the same thing. He's just like a different person. Where is the old Harry? Yes, exactly. So if you do it long enough, you make the changes and all that, you will get the benefits. You know, I, I will I get to the level of these ancestral people, like, the guy that actually could outpace 80-year-old outpace Mary up a hillside, and she's in her mid-40s and quite healthy by Western standards. I have no bloody idea, but it'd be interesting to try. And I think we can improve our health. But see, I'm doing a lot of this sort of stuff, and I'm making sure that I'm basically pushing the deuterium levels down. Those camels, and I'm not kidding, don't show their age, and they do this, this, and this, and they drop dead. That's why the old Arabs saying, take a horse if you're going alone, don't take a camel. because it may just drop dead on you because you can't tell their age, low deuterium. It's really basically if you've got youthful nanomotors, if you've got mitochondrial density with youthful nanomotors, you can generate as much energy as a young person. You will have their stamina. What I'm trying to do is reverse the damage. That's why I do these senolytics. That's why I do certain fasting. That's why I use basically taurine at certain doses because it also has stem cell, and also not only that, it can do another thing. It can actually keep stem cells healthy. So when they produce, new T cells or whatever, they're going to be healthier. So that's another component there. It's a biohack basically in that regard that many people are unaware of. And as you get older, that you're keeping your taurine levels, your sulfur levels up, and if you sort of have to regulate to basically not have too much sulfur in certain tissues. That's where choline comes in to methylate any excess and keep the sort of the homeostatic relationship in your body at that tight, at a much even keel. So that's the other side. I talk about it now and then, but it's very important that, especially for me, that I can't endogenously produce it from methionine. I've got to get it in the diet, or supplement it, is another important element, which is choline, that many people neglect. It also exports fat out of the liver. It also is very important, as I said, choline as a neurotransmitter and many other things. It breaks down beta amyloid. Wonderful, isn't it? It works synergistically in the brain with taurine when it deals with beta amyloid for glycating and breaking down. So there's all these sort of things that actually improves the sharpness of your mind, because you've got Alzheimer's and dementia start from much younger. But if you're dealing with these things, and clearing these things out and avoiding certain things, I avoid seed oils like the plague, like an absolute plague, because they're so high in deuterium. I won't buy anything that has. And, I look at anything to make sure there's no seed oils in them as well. Even when I have cheated, which is very rare, but when I have, I will check, you know. So about 3 months ago, I had a craving, and I went into a place and I looked at all the actual ice creams, and none of them, because I couldn't find my regular brand was sold out, doesn't have any seed oils. All the other ones had seed oils. I bought none. I walked out the door. I felt really pissed off. But, I didn't buy it because I won't put that shit in my body, you know. I won't damage my nanomotors in that regard. So that's the sort of difference. You have to be disciplined on that front, you know. And yes, don't put the stuff in that is going to age you faster and damage your energy production. I am trying to build energy capacity closer to a younger person, because then I can repair much better. That's why young people can repair their bodies much faster. You got to create energy density. And there are other things like stearic acid, like a supplement that can actually force new biogenesis. And you can combine it with senolytics and combine it with fasting and all that. I haven't actually elaborated on my protocols yet, but there are going to be videos to explain all that, how I do it, how I modulate these biohacks to basically get better results.